So I think today we're going to talk about a few teams that we haven't shown enough light on throughout the first few episodes of the season. Yeah. But number one, we have to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. Right now it's Tuesday night, 9:50 p.m. The crazy game between the Mavs and the Warriors just ended. I want to hear y'all's reaction.
It was crazy. Listen, Steph had a three where at the end of the game he's does the classic Steph relocate type of stuff. His a three falling away in the corner, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this is why I like basketball. Like that's the exact like Steph Curry just makes me love basketball.
Yeah, bro.
It was beautiful.
I love basketball, but I especially love and so much admire the way the Warriors play. They could have had, in that one possession, I at least saw like two shots that players could have taken out, but like, okay, that's like a good shot. But Steph Curry, fucking maniac dude, took at least what it seemed like to me one of the worst shots that you could take. He took a quick-ass pounded the dribble, and at the right wing, he threw it up, and then bro, he had one of the most beautiful swishes in the NBA that I've seen over the past week.
Yeah. The Warriors look great. Well, they didn't win the game, obviously. Spoiler alert. They lost by 2 points. Or it might have been free throws.
Three.
I don't know.
Three.
Okay.
It was 116-113.
Gotcha. So they've looked a little bit better as of late, but we're not here to talk about the Warriors. We know what to expect from them. We haven't talked about the Dallas Mavericks like at all this season. And given how Luka's been playing, given the roster construction issues they have, like I feel like we have to remedy that right now. So...
yeah.
I'll ask you first, Donovan. What's your general thought on the Dallas Mavericks right now? One-liner.
They're one-dimensional.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with.
it's the main thing that jumped off the screen and like when you look at the box score, and so for a little bit of context, Dinwiddie got thrown out of the game in the third quarter, right? And so he's driving to the basket. Jordan Poole's defending him. He takes the bump. Dinwiddie tries a Euro step and just gives Poole an elbow to the jaw, and they end up giving him a flagrant 2. He's thrown out before the fourth quarter even starts. And so the offensive load goes to Luka as it normally does, but even more.
You know he did because of that? He put on an absolute fucking Luka Doncic masterclass. 30-point triple-double. It was incredible.
He finished with 41. He finished with 41 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists.
Oh, 40-point triple-double. I undersold him.
Yeah.
But so we're talking about the masterclass, but that does go back to what you're saying. The one-dimensionalness showed out, and they were up by like 17 in the first quarter. So they won the game, but I think you kind of saw the downside of that one-dimensionalness by the fact that the Warriors stormed back into it.
100%. 100%.
Mo, what do you think?
I think,
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What's your thoughts on the Mavs so far, besides the one-dimensionalness?
So one-dimensional is the perfect word for that. Another word that I'll use for them is that they have a ceiling, There's a lot of teams in the NBA in general where you're like, okay, if everything clicks, their ceiling is pretty much limitless. You can say that for the Bucks, you can say that for the Celtics, you can say that for the Nuggets, you can say that for the Warriors, you can say that for, hell, maybe even a team like the Memphis Grizzlies or the New Orleans Pelicans. But if everything goes right,
I get your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, you get my point. And you can say that for every single team except for the Dallas Mavericks because of the way they're set up, and they just have they have issues on their roster that were partly self-inflicted, and then for other reasons they're just like they're tied into this weird gray area because Luka Doncic is just so goddamn good. And we're seeing Luka literally like suffer from success in all the good ways, but also bad ways in the future. I say number one bad way because like every young player has their co-star or counterpart, and the Dallas Mavericks never had that opportunity to go ahead and get one because Luka is such a god. He's literally Superman, and he's an NBA playoff team alone by himself, damn near. He's a dude by himself. He's a team by himself, and it's fantastic to watch, and I love watching it. But what's kind of funny also, this is just a random ass side tangent. This is like what James Harden was doing, except for a very, very large amount of time. And that's really interesting to me.
I'm glad you brought that up. But the fact that the roster construction was really like strangled by the fact that he was so good right away. Because this is the first year that let me track back a little bit. That's always been the narrative, right? We've known for a few years that they weren't able to make this core around him for the reasons you outlined. But this is the first year that you really feel it because Jalen Brunson is now gone and they lost him for nothing. So that whole thing, like 2 years ago they had Brunson and they had Kristaps Porzingis. So that kind of like, gave you multiple outlets around Luka. At the time, we still thought there wasn't enough. So now that you have neither of those guys and you replace them with extra Dinwiddie minutes, Christian Wood, who is a whole other topic we'll get to in a little bit, we're starting to feel that one-dimensionalness be exacerbated because of that. Yeah. And it's led to maybe a Luka Doncic MVP season, but do we think that can translate to the playoffs? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. You listen. It also doesn't help that Reggie Bullock sucks right now. Yeah, it also doesn't help. It also doesn't help that Dorian Finney-Smith sucks right now. And your two guys who are supposed to be 3-and-D guys aren't giving you any three at all. And so they, like tonight, Reggie Bullock and Finney-Smith combined for 1 for 7 from 3. That can't get it done. And if you're Luka and you come out and you have 41 and every time you drive into the paint they're gonna send the double, and you know as a shooter that you're going to get the ball, you have to knock down one of them. Like, they're lucky that Josh Green came out tonight and he was 3 or 5 from 3. They are not counting on Josh Green in the playoffs. That's not going to happen. He's not going to get
fantastic. They might. He's been.
They're going to have to count on him as a problem
player.
And that's nasty. Nasty. That like he played 27 minutes tonight. If he's getting 27, 30 minutes a night in the playoffs and he's a legitimate part of your rotation, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And Tim Hardaway Jr. also had 22 points. Like, are you going to rely on that from a relatively inconsistent player? It's kind of tough. And it's interesting because we're talking about, obviously, one ball handler, 2 when Dinwiddie's there. Like, that's clearly their issue. And it's interesting how that's played out in the numbers. Because I know, like, a couple years ago, they set the record for, like, the highest offensive rating of all time. Like, they were an absolutely ridiculous, well-oiled machine, partially because of Rick Carlisle, partially because of players around Luka. This year, they're actually the 12th offense, the 12th defense and the 11th offense. So you kind of, like, see that explicitly in the numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like nowadays in the NBA, specifically today, like, you know, this one-man band type offense, it can work, but it can only go so far because analytics and defenses are just getting, I won't say better and better, but
you're right.
Yeah, but like when it comes to just like the mindset of a defender these days, like we just see it. If this was back in 2005 and 6 and 7 and shit, Luka would have he would get a championship playing this style offense for sure. But today it's not gonna fly, bro. Not anymore, at least.
I think what you're talking about, its relation to analytics. People know now that if you put the ball in Luka Doncic's hand, let's say, I don't know what the exact number is, but every possession that he either shoots the ball or passes it is a 1.2 points per possession play. So in the regular season, over the long haul, that's going to be an efficient offense, right? But to your point, when you get to the playoffs, teams are so advanced now defensively that, one, it's hard as fuck to play that way. So you're going to burn out like we saw with James Harden year after year after year. And two, it's just they're going to do what every team does now, where they're going to say, either we're going to double team him and make all these shitters beat us, or let's you score every play and make you be the guy that beats us and nobody else does anything. And that's kind of hard to outshoot somebody when you're going against somebody like the Boston Celtics, who can also play that elite defense and be the top offense in the league.
Absolutely. Donovan, did you see that stat the other day that said it put out some wild stat. It said that the Dallas Mavericks have won X amount of games whenever Luka Doncic scores 30 points or over. And when he doesn't score 30, I believe they lost every single game. That's embarrassing for the Mavericks.
This season?
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense, and it plays out. I mean, Luka. First off, he's leading the league in scoring, right? He scored 30 in basically every single game. So like it doesn't surprise me that's kind of how it plays out. But what we've talked about already is the fact that they don't have a legitimate second ball handler, and they lost that in Brunson, and we've talked about that before. The other part on that is they traded to go get Christian Wood, and the Christian Wood experience hasn't been fantastic. Tonight, he was 2 of 12, 0 of 5 from 3, right? He finishes with 4 points, 3 fouls.
Let's talk about Christian Wood.
Yeah, because that's not going to get it done.
I don't know how plugged in y'all are with Mavs Twitter. For some reason, I am. And the number one thing they're calling for in the past 3-game losing streak they had is they want him to play more. People were like, their coach needs to take the leash off of Christian Wood and let him thrive and try to be who he can be. But that's kind of tough when you have the 24th rim defense in the league, and part of that is because his big you're playing all the time is inept as a defender. So how good offensively does he have to be to make it worth it for his defense?
Yeah,
he has to be as good as he was opening night. And opening night, he went crazy.
Yeah, he can't be 2 for 12. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. But he went crazy. He was shooting from three. He was like he was like at least 5 or 6 from three. He had a 16-0 personal run. Like he's gonna have to be on that level to do that. And but like, are we expecting that from Christian Wood? Like we haven't seen consistent great Christian Wood minutes for about 2.5 years now since he was in Detroit.
Is the trade-off worth it? Like, because in my mind, it's like if you go ahead and play Christian Wood that much, you're basically representing the defense of a hoe house. Everyone can get some out of you. You're getting ran through every single night, and I'm not sure if it's worth
Southern
it.
Saying like that's something that only somebody in the South would say.
This man is from Georgia. Oh,
that's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. We're from Texas, and like that's a different level of Southern. That's crazy.
I'm being honest, bro.
But to your point, I see what you mean. I think another thing to mention is I can't even spit it out.
Oh my gosh, bro. I gotta get a drink of water. That's ridiculous.
Okay. So another thing to mention along the Christian Wood conversation is that their front court issues aren't just based around him. They used one of their only non-minimum contracts this summer for JaVale McGee. They gave him their taxpayer mid-level.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, everyone fucking forgot because he's been asked.
That's the problem.
So when you have all this money tied up, not all this money, but one of their only vessels to get better tied up in JaVale McGee, who lost his starting spot to Dwight Powell, who hasn't been great himself, and then you trade for this guy who hasn't been great himself. It's like, what's the answer? A lot of Mavs fans thinks it's Christian Wood and Kleba playing more minutes together, but that's not super inspiring. So that was an awkward transition because we had some technical issues just now with Mo's mic, but we're back. I think we were talking about the Mavs front court being shit. So we know that they have front court issues despite having a lot of money tied up there, no secondary ball handler. What I want to know now is what's the answer? What do they do about this?
Listen, I mean, you talked a lot about like Mavs fans trying to influence however they can to get a Christian Wood, Maxi Kleber lineup, and I mean, to be fair, it's worked. It's been a very small sample size. We've only, according to Cleaning the Glass, we've only had 98 possessions of that throughout the year, but that lineup is plus 29.4 points.
Damn, maybe they're right. Jesus.
It's ridiculous, and so like that lineup.
Shout out to fans.
Yeah, that lineup is third on Cleaning the Glass. The second one is Doncic, Dinwiddie, Bullock, Finney-Smith, and McGee, and we're not going to see that for a while because again, McGee, he's not even getting into the game. He's DNP, coach's decision. So maybe Wood and Kleber is that's the answer. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's worth a try, I guess. But I understand why Wood isn't like super heavy in the rotation because everything we know about Christian Wood, he isn't the most inspiring locker room guy. Coaches don't typically love him. I'll say it that way. So there's probably a reason he's not getting an opportunity if he's not in the eyes of fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the Mavs are cooked in terms of actual long-term success. And the only thing that they can do is basically what they did with the Kristaps Porzingis situation a couple years ago. Hope and pray and just build as many assets so you can capitalize on another disgruntled star who fits Luka.
That's what it is.
I don't want to see Bradley Beal or anything like that. You need someone who actually fits because this is probably one of your last chances and one of the last mistakes that one of the last things you'll be able to make. So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because after this year, they're not going to owe any more first round picks to any teams, so they'll have their full slew of them. So they'll be able to trade a maximum of 5 picks. Yeah. So when, like you said, when a new star, I think that's their whole point. Is that they're not going to trade any picks to make short-term upgrades right now. They're going to save them, and then this summer, maybe next trade deadline, maybe the summer after that, whenever the next star gets open to grabs, maybe it's Karl-Anthony Towns or I don't know, whoever else you think might become available, they can swoop in and give the haul.
Absolutely.
But that's a long wait and doesn't do much help this year, and it's hard to waste Luka Doncic MVP type level seasons.
Who cares? He's 23. Let him collect these MVPs. You know what I'm saying? This is down
say
here
that.
Just to enjoy it.
You say that, right? From the fan perspective, yeah, let's just enjoy Luka while we can. There's a time, right? There's already a timeline set where you have to start winning. And if you keep bringing in guys who are either not good enough right? You bring in your Kristaps Porzingis, your Christian Woods, and you keep trying to get like these stopgap bigs to play with Luka, or you just don't do anything at all. He's out the door, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
Anybody in the league is 100% willing to go give him the bag, and anybody will go give him as much money as he wants. He's gonna go and find a situation where he wants to play basketball, and if
It's
the
not even
Mavericks
a money
don't,
thing either.
what's up?
Like, he can request a trade, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even free agency. It's
Facts.
he's got 5 years on his contract, but if in three years from now, like, it's okay, it's too early to be talking about this because he has 5 years left, but if we get 3 seasons down the line, they haven't made trade for a big star, maybe they do again, like, and it fails like Kristaps Porzingis, the conversations will begin at some point.
Oh yeah, they fucked up a lot already. They haven't really had any, like I said earlier, they really didn't have any room to fuck up as much because Luka's so damn good, and then they had the opportunity with Kristaps Porzingis. Naturally didn't fail. I would have done the same thing back then if I were them. Like everyone would have, because it was a fucking swindle at the time. But you fail with that, then you go ahead and you miscalculate how much Jalen Brunson is worth, and you don't pull the trigger. And by the time you like attempt to pull the trigger, he's worth way too much money for you, and it's just like a whole mess over there. It's a whole mess.
Yeah.
And bro, I don't feel sorry for Mavericks fans. Y'all are spoiled. Fuck y'all. Y'all got fucking. I'm a Hawks fan, so you have to remember.
Right. Facts. You got the worst Luka Doncic.
Exactly.
You got his little brother.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's the extent of what we got to talk about with the Mavs. Everyone knows what it is. Luka has no help. He's not gonna get any help anytime soon. We just gotta watch him cook.
Who's next on the list? I'm excited for this one.
Let's move over to another white king of the NBA. Let's talk about the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, White King. Wow, what type of agenda are you trying to push, Isaac?
Nah, listen. Y'all need to pull up Isaac's fantasy team. Pull up Isaac only drafts white men.
Listen, I have Luka Doncic and Domantas Sabonis as my top 2 picks, and I got
Holy
Lowry
shit.
Markkanen. It's not on purpose. I don't like white players. I just end up with them every year.
This man, listen. We got to keep an eye on Isaac.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
know.
they're not going to know that we're
you're
joking,
under the
and
scope
they're
right
going to be
now.
like, they're going to, the only non-black guy on the podcast likes white players a lot.
We're 100% joking. We're 100%.
Yeah, someone's gonna take this seriously for real.
But I will say, Nikola Jokic might be in my top 5 whites dead or alive
Wow.
across all of culture.
Listen. We're gonna have to do a one-off draft of just top 5 whites, like just
Top 5 white dudes alive.
Yeah, across every genre. But listen,
I think it's Mac Miller, Nikola Jokic, like they're neck and neck.
that's a strong duo. And Jokic, listen, Jokic coming off of back-to-back MVPs. I said before the season that he wasn't going to win MVP. He hasn't come off in the first, I guess, like 20-something games playing in MVP style. But the Nuggets have...
Let's talk about that.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, the Nuggets, they've come on, though. They've started to come on. They're second in the West. Like, they're looking the way that we kind of thought that they were going to look at the beginning of the season.
For sure. Especially over the last month. Like, for the year, I wrote this down, they're 25th in offense somehow, but second in defense. Which, when you think about the players they have on their team, especially
This
Nikola
happened
Jokic,
a couple years ago.
Yeah, but if you look at the last month of just November, they're second in offense. So they're starting to pick up, and that's why they rose to second in seeding in the West.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of that is because Jamal Murray is starting to pick it up. He's back to averaging like 20 and 6 like he did a couple years ago after a slow start. But I don't even right now. I want to put to the side the talk about the team as a whole. I want to get back to a point you just made in passing. You said the first 2 months of the season, Nikola Jokic isn't necessarily playing at an MVP level. You're not wrong, but I want to hear why you think that. Like, what's the difference between this year and last year?
I think the biggest difference is just the scoring. It's just the overall volume of scoring for. It's just the volume of scoring for him, because like the efficiency, he's still a very efficient player. We're still seeing like him being able to pass out the post and set people up, and like all that stuff is really good. But when you look at what he's done over the last 2 years, which is most likely been out of necessity because he hasn't had the help, but he's been scoring 26, 27. That number's dropped by 5 or 6 points, and so
that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So he averaged 27 last year. Right now he's averaging 23, but he's also has one more assist per game. He's like almost at 10, and his true shooting percentage went up. He's currently at 70% true shooting percentage. There's been
that's ridiculous.
So right now it's ridiculous. It's he's by far the most efficient volume scorer in the NBA. It's him and Curry are like by far 1 and 2. So one thing I want to say is in the history of the NBA, there's never been a player to average 35 points per 100 possessions and have a true shooting percentage that's 13% higher than league average. Right now, Nikola Jokic is the first person to ever do that this year. So
all the nerds are uniting right now.
So why does the fact that he is making 2 less shots per game because he has more help around him and doesn't need to take so many shots, but he's just as efficient, same level defender, same level playmaking, why does that make him a worse player? Or why does it make him a less impressive season? You know what I mean?
To tag along onto that is like his 3-point shooting has dropped off a fucking cliff. He's like shooting 29% from the field right now, or from 3-point line that I just saw. And to hear those efficiency numbers still, it's fucking crazy, bro.
It's because he stopped taking them.
Oh my God.
Year by year, he's taking less and less threes and moving his shots closer and closer to the basket, which is why he's shooting a ridiculous percentage there. But why is he less impressive to you this year just because he's taking 2 less shots per game? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's on the same level. It's just people overvalue that scoring number. You know what I mean? Like 27 is more impressive than 23, but everything else around that is just as great, if not better.
Well, when you set the standard for yourself at 27, when the standard for you is 27, 14, and 8, and then you come out and now you're at 23, 8, and 10, and kind of like the rebounding numbers have dropped down a little bit. Like you said, the assist numbers have gone up, but now you have 2 of like the major counting stats going down. So just on the surface, it looks less impressive. And then this whole season, it's not the past 2 seasons, specifically last season, was, hey, Jokic has absolutely nobody. We're just watching him cook. Look at him have the type of seasons that a Westbrook is having, that a Harden can have, that a Luka's having right now, where he's just doing everything. This entire season is 100% a ramp up of let's get Michael Porter Jr. back in, let's get Jamal Murray back in, and so we're not having the same moments because that's not the focus this year. The focus is trying to get those other guys back in the mix.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So like it just looks different, but also it's the same thing where it's like if you look at what the Warriors did a couple years ago, and it's like, hey, you can't have Steph Curry or KD win MVP because you have good players on your team. Obviously they're not to that level in Denver.
Yeah,
but
Jamal Murray,
but you see what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have no help now, and that's the thing.
That's not a chip on his belt like it was before. It's not part of the argument. I see what you mean. I just think like we see a lot of like comments, and not to say YouTube comments are no be all, but the general narrative around Jokic right now is that like he's not in these conversations that some of the other top guys are. Like last year, if you're listing the top 5 players in the league, most smart people are going to put Jokic in their top 3. Right now, because of recency bias, a lot of people might not. And I just think that's weird because the reasons for that are like so clear. You know what I mean? Like he's obviously not a worse player now because he's taking less shots for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so you would still have him in your top 3?
Sure. I mean, I don't know if I ever did, he was like number 3. I just think I wouldn't change my opinion on him based off from this year to last year. You know what I mean? So if you had him at 4 before, I think he's still 4. If you had him at 3, he's still 3. Like, I don't think anything's changed. He's not worse this year by any means.
Yeah, definitely he's not worse, and I definitely agree with Donovan hit it literally right on the money. Like, and I think it's just because, like, people, like you said, like, we had this conversation a while ago, a couple of podcasts ago, where you and Donovan were going at it tit for tat fucking for, like, felt like for 20 minutes straight over Jokic winning the MVP or not. And, like, Jokic just trying to acclimate his people first and worrying about everything else later is a huge part of the reason why, you know what I'm saying, he's only averaging, 23 points per game this season. And I don't envision him winning MVP or getting any real, well, he's probably going to get like top 3 chatter just because of because
play himself there.
The Nuggets are going to be fucking elite this season, or they are elite this season, but I don't think anyone's going to seriously consider him to win MVP like at all.
Just and the thing is, he's probably not trying to win MVP. He's like, he's been there, done that. He's probably trying to save himself a little bit, prepare for the playoffs by getting them acclimated. So
speaking about MVP, just for a quick second, we talked about this last podcast, but it's still damn shame. The Phoenix Suns are like number 1 in the West, and Devin Booker just dropped like 44 last night, and he still has zero. Zero MVP talk at all.
Do we care?
not one bit.
Not at all.
We do not care.
God, bro, this is like, bro. If I was a Phoenix Suns fan, I'd be sick to my stomach. Sick.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I feel you're right, but don't give a shit.
It'd be like that.
Let's not talk about it.
Like that Another interesting. I want to get back to Jokic. I want to get back to a player that actually matters. But
anyways,
listen, the Jamal Murray is actually taking more shots this year than Nikola Jokic. Right? Jokic is only taking 13.6 shots per game. Jamal Murray is at 15 and a half. Even though that Jokic is shooting 62% and Jamal is at 43%, like that's the reason why we're not seeing the MVP stuff and why we're not doing that, because again, that's not what this year is about. What we should give him credit for is this is the leadership type of stuff that we see and that we ask for from the stars. Like anybody else who's coming off of back-to-back MVPs can say, hey, this is my team. I'm gonna go out. I'm going to get mine, and you guys can figure out where you guys are going to fit in. And he's saying from the jump, it's about my teammates, because I know once I get to May, I'm going to need Jamal Murray to be that. I'm going to need MPJ to be that. So we should give him his roses on that front and on the leadership front. And I mean, we can go from there. He's still top 5 and do all that. I just don't think that MVP is in the cards for him right now.
Yeah. My only worry is that as the season progresses and as the postseason starts to live on or whatever, I don't want to see him not coasting that he's doing it all, but I want to see him be more aggressive and take it up to that MVP level notch.
Yeah, he'll turn.
Once he's in the second round, third round, or whatever the case may be.
That's the thing, though. I think he still is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think taking less shots means he's not playing at the MVP level. You know what I mean? Like, he's still doing playmaking, still making all the shots. Like, I just think it's more like there's more possessions where Jamal Murray runs pick and rolls. Like, not when Jokic has the ball, like, with his fair share, like, he's still doing the same level of, like, you know, he's not being passive by any means.
He's had an issue of being passive in the past, and I feel like that's a part of the reason why he had a little.
Has he?
Early in his career.
Okay.
Back when he was fighting for minutes with fucking Yusuf Nurkic, most definitely had an issue with being passive.
when he's fighting to make the roster, but like I think since he's become Nikola Jokic, he's been very comfortable taking enough shots and being like that guy. And I mean, we've seen this version of Jokic for what, 3-4 years now. Like, I don't think a lack of aggression, especially in terms of like shot taking from him, I don't think that's an issue.
I do see what you mean, though. Like, I'm saying that, like, it doesn't really matter, but I see what you mean, that when you get to the big stages, you want the guy that shoots a 70% true shooting percentage to take more shots than not. So I get what you mean. In terms of, like, right now, it's about getting Jamal integrated, but when it's crunch time, it needs to be more in Jokic's hands. So I see your point.
You need that ISO? You need that Kobe ISO right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny. Yeah, I see your point. One thing before we get off the Nuggets, one thing I have to mention, Aaron Gordon has been incredible this year. Like, he does not get his flowers because he's Aaron Gordon and, like, who gives a shit. But he's currently shooting 70% on twos and 38% on threes. Like, if he wasn't playing as amazing as he was, they would have struggled a lot more early in the season.
That's fair. That's fair. My thing with Aaron Gordon, and like you said, like, Aaron Gordon might fall into that category of we do not care, because he's made me not care about his actual basketball. He's the only thing that I like associate Aaron Gordon with is, he got robbed in the dunk contest twice.
Damn.
Like, he's made that a very big part of his personality. So he can go and shoot 50% from three. I probably wouldn't care. I'd be like, listen, I'm gonna need to see a dunk.
Yeah, but it's been nice though, because as we know, we're talking about Jamal Murray a lot, but there's still Michael Porter Jr. is coming back this year, who has been all right. Like, he's shooting still like 42% from three. He's being his normal sniper self, still doing absolutely nothing with the ball in his hands, just being a shooter. But I think the thing we saw with his rustiness is he's not shooting from two quite as well, because, like, back before he got hurt, him and Jokic had this, like, amazing connection with backdoor cuts where anytime MPJ caught the ball going downhill, it was an automatic dunk. We haven't seen that this year, but Aaron Gordon is kind of taking that role in a lot of plays, and that's why he's being so amazing from twos right now. It's pretty good to see.
This team just works in unison. I love it, bro. Every pairing feeds off of each other extremely well.
Yeah, and they got KCP. Like, everything makes so much sense on paper for them.
Question for y'all. So if Michael Porter Jr. is just relegated to just be a 3-point shooter, do you think that's okay for Denver, considering that, like, Bones Highland has really taken in, like, a step forward in this offense, and that, like, he can be kind of the like driving type of force?
I think it's okay in that it won't make the team worse. Like, they'll be good. But it's not okay in that you're paying this guy max money to be Kyle Korver, but big. So, like, at a certain point, it's either going to get to the point financially where it's going to be hard to pay all these guys, and some people are getting kicked out the door. And when that becomes the case, it's going to be tough when this guy does nothing with a ball in his hands.
Yeah, exactly. Like, short term, yeah, it's okay. Like, as long as they're winning, doing their thing. You have Bones Highland who's doing all the things that he can't do. But, like, yeah, like, long term, you pay him all that money for a fucking reason. He was a top, 3 recruit a couple years ago, and he was supposed to be a top 3 draft pick back in the 2018 draft for a fucking reason. He has all this potential, and they paid him based off of that potential, just not for him to fulfill it. You know, they need him to fulfill it.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like people could easily say like, oh, he's like Klay Thompson. Klay doesn't do a whole lot with the ball in his hands, but prime Klay, let alone being a better shooter, but prime Klay was also a very impactful defensive player. You'll never be able to say the same thing about. You'll never say that about stiff ass Michael Porter Jr.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, stiff back ass.
If you're giving shooting, great. You're not giving defense. You're not giving playmaking. You're not giving shot creation. Like, you got to check at least 2 of these boxes. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, but no, they're an interesting team. We all predicted them to be very high in the West standings before the season. I think I might have had them as the 1 seed.
I think we all had them. Think we all had them as the 1 seed. Listen, they're only a game back of Phoenix. They're only a game back of Phoenix right now. And so listen, we keep harping on Phoenix being irrelevant. Don't let Denver get the number 1 seed, because I promise you we will never talk about the Phoenix.
I don't think Damian Lee's gonna make that happen, man. You should have seen what he did to the Beam team last night.
So lame.
I heard you was a Beam team fan.
They keep working out after these games.
Oh my goodness, that was terrible, bro. Oh,
one thing about the Suns real quick. DeAndre Ayton is coming alive in the past week, and he's been putting up like 28 points, 30 points, like looking really good, and that's an encouraging sign. Hold up. I see a bug on my floor across the room. I gotta kill this bitch for it.
Oh, he's scary.
Y'all keep talking.
This guy.
Exterminator Isaac in the building.
You know why DeAndre Ayton is playing as well as he is, right? He got the He got the he shaved his facial hair.
Oh yeah, he has a little goatee.
He's looking real islandy right now. Like he's looking real islandy right now. His like facial hair has finally grown into his like old man face. It's a great thing to see. I think as a whole he's finally coming together.
I was so concerned as to where you were going with this, but let's focus on the real. And you have to give Devin Booker his flowers, bro. Finally, okay, I can stop talking about D-Book now. Thank God. What's next?
It was a grasshopper jumping around. I was throwing slides. I don't know if you could hear it in the mic, but it's quite the ordeal.
Shit. Sounds like you were getting stomped out. I was like, holy shit. We're just fucked.
Love that. Okay. And no more talking about the Suns. Don't give a fuck. Don't forget it either. We do not give a fuck about the Suns. I'll be on record. We're the podcast that doesn't give a fuck about the Suns.
Yeah.
Third team we got to talk about today. We got to talk about my new favorite young point guard in the NBA. Move aside Trae Young. This is Tyrese Haliburton's league.
Let's go.
The Pacers are the biggest surprise of the season. The Pacers pass up the Jazz as the biggest surprise. The Pacers are a legitimately good team. Tyrese Haliburton has made the leap to being a future potential superstar, and I'd love to see it.
We're talking about the Pacers before the Suns. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is dirty. We're talking about Indianapolis, bro. People are really gonna
do
have
it over and over again.
People want your head.
I will have a Tyrese Haliburton segment on every episode of this podcast.
Yeah, I love Tyrese Haliburton, bro. I one thing that I absolutely hate myself over is not naming him the MIP. I 110% believe that this dude is going to be and should be, without a question, without a doubt in my mind, an all-star. And I fucking want to like just choke myself out when I go back and listen to that podcast of me naming Jalen Brunson. Even though Jalen Brunson's fucking hooping out of his ass right now.
It's just going crazy.
Listen, it's not. I'm good at my predictions. Okay, it's not.
Is everything good at home?
No.
Are you going through something?
Look at the Hawks' record. Look at what my team is fucking doing. You ask me if everything's okay right now.
Hey. Is Tyrese Haliburton
this
better
is about
than
Tyrese. Tyrese is fucking elite. I love the way he plays basketball, bro.
This year.
Yeah. So, really get in real quick. Tyrese Haliburton is playing at all-star level. The past 3 games, he's actually had 40 assists and 0 turnovers. Think about that for a second. That's never happened before in NBA history. Yeah. And he also has 60 points. So, he's at these ridiculous.
20 and 13 in 20 and 13 over the last
3-game stretch with zero turnovers.
That's
maddening.
That's insane. That's insane.
So before the season, before the season in our hot take segment. Oh, we forgot to do hot takes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh,
we did.
We'll get back to that. We'll do it at the end. This season, before the season started, somebody asked us as a hot take, are Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Tyrese Haliburton going to be all-stars? We said yes, Shai. Probably not Tyrese because their team's going to suck.
Yeah.
He is playing at the level we thought, but we thought the team would hold him back. This team's not going to hold him back. They're currently like the 5 seed or something like that. They're really good.
Yeah, and a lot of Pacers fans, just interestingly enough, are in low-key shambles because we all know that this is not good for them. I remember when we had Kenny on our podcast, we did what team deserves Wembanyama, and I was like, bro, I want to see fucking Tyrese and Wemby fucking hoop. That's the best basketball. That's the best basketball outcome, period, for Wembanyama and Tyrese Haliburton, bro.
Yeah.
But what were you saying? It sounded like you were about to say something important, Donovan.
Listen, I don't know this. Here's what I'm gonna say about the Pacers. Tyrese is hooping, and they're doing all of this with 2 guys who we thought were gonna be out of there at the beginning of the year, and Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. Miles Turner tweeted out, he tweeted out the come get me or something like that, trying to send.
But he went on Adrian Wojnarowski's podcast talking about if I was the Lakers, I would trade for me.
Yeah, he was trying to send the bat signal out. He was trying to send the bat signal out to LA for them to come get them, and somehow they've managed to be 12-8. Benedict Mathurin is fantastic. He's him, and I just I'm very, very shocked because not only is the offense at playing at a really high level, they're 13th in the league for the year in defensive rating. Right, and so this isn't a situation like the Sacramento Kings, and I don't want to hate on the Kings. I actually want to apologize to the Kings fans. I was hating just to hate. I'm actually I'm actually on the Beam team now. But for the Pacers, they're not just running up and down the court trying to outscore everybody, right? They're upper half in the league in both categories, and that's really, really big. And like Isaac said, they are a legitimately good team. They do it on both ends of the floor.
Let's talk about how. Let's talk about this roster construction because I think it's the perfect recipe to be a fun team. You know what I mean? Their whole thing is they have this elite driving force point guard who is pretty heliocentric at this point. He has a 30% usage rate, which is really high. It's top 5 in the league.
Of course, yeah.
And then they surround him with hella spacing. So not only do they have shooters like Andrew Nembhard, Buddy Hield, I'm blanking on who else. Oh, Aaron Nesmith, tons of wings that can shoot threes really high level. But the biggest piece that's put it together this year is Miles Turner, who's been hooping his ass off now that he's a full-time center and not this weird 4 next to Domantas Sabonis, so he's always behind the arc. He's a true 5 now who's given them that 5-out spacing. And they're not the best 3-point shooting team in the league. They're middle of the pack, but their volume is super high, and the spacing that's being created for Tyrese to go in and pick teams apart with his elite passing is just incredible. It's very clear why they're the 10th best offense. Yeah.
So for Tyrese, just some numbers for some context. According to cleaning the glass, so he's in the 98th percentile in usage rate. He's at 29%. He's in the 100th percentile in assist percentage at 51%.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That is
for those who don't know
these
percentiles. 100th percentile means he's better than 100% of the league. So he's number 1. 98th percentile means he's better than 98% of the league, so he's top 2%. So it's crazy.
And the assist percentage, what percentage of his teammates' shots did he assist on? And he's assisting on over half of his teammates' shots. It's
ridiculous.
Yeah. So when you talk about him being heliocentric, it's very, very cool to see somebody this young make those reads. And he made the read 2 nights ago to find the open shooter to hit the buzzer beater against the Los Angeles Lakers. Love seeing the Lakers in shambles. It's fantastic. But those are the kinds of plays that you're seeing from Haliburton really on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
And so what's up?
Nah, I was just gonna add on to that, and to think that this dude fell all the way to, I forget what pick he was, but he was 13 in the later end of the lottery, 13 to the Sacramento Kings. Guys like Killian Hayes fucking went before him, bro. Killian Hayes,
nasty. What a stray. Leave Killian alone.
Fucking
he's
nasty, bro.
He's bad at basketball.
Yeah, he's bad at basketball. Speaking about bad, I love everything about Tyrese Haliburton's game. He don't hold the ball. Even though he's a ball dominant point guard, it doesn't feel like he's dragging the offense or ever holds the ball too long. His pacing is CP3 fucking it's insane. But one thing about him that always throws me off is that whenever he shoots the ball, yesterday I saw him hit a goddamn sidestep. I swear to God, I thought that was gonna hit the off the left side of the backboard, and he cashed it. Every shot that he shoots, it looks so off, but it's so cash. He's shooting like 38 or 41% from the 3-point line. It's ridiculous out here.
Ugly ass jumper.
And this leads me to a
ugly,
TikTok
but it
segment,
works.
I'm gonna name some NBA point guards. I'm gonna name some point guards, and I want you to let me know would you rather have them or Tyrese Haliburton. Did I say that right?
Okay.
Ooh.
Quick transition into the TikTok. Fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Darius Garland.
Fuck. You know, I'm the biggest Darius Garland fan in the world, but I might have to pick Tyrese Haliburton. I don't know. This is hard.
That's
This
a
is
crazy way to
Recency
start.
bias kicking his ass or what?
I'm gonna take Darius. I'm gonna take Darius just because I've seen him do it before over a longer period of time. But if you took Tyrese, I would not be mad.
I think that the size Tyrese has will make him a little bit better of a defender in their primes when they both get to a decent level.
Yeah.
And as great as Darius is, I think Tyrese is a little bit higher of a ceiling as a playmaker.
Wow.
Like, he's going to be a top 5 passer in the NBA. I'm pretty confident in that.
The only thing that separates them a little bit for me and why I might pick Darius, I'm probably going to pick Darius Garland, is because of the amount of separation that he can create and just how nice his handles are. I think that kind of takes it to a level, but again, the defense that Tyrese can provide. Anyways.
There's no wrong answer. I love both these players with all my heart.
Yeah.
That's a crazy way to start.
All right. LaMelo Ball.
Oh, I'm taking Tyrese.
Oh.
I'm taking Tyrese.
I think LaMelo is getting kind of underrated. He's also incredible. Yeah. I think they're incredibly similar players, which is wild given their draft difference. I guess I'll give it to Tyrese, but I'm not confident in that at all. Like, LaMelo might be better. I don't know.
Man, I already know Donovan's agenda against him. All right. De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, Tyrese Haliburton. I have no issue saying that.
I'm taking Tyrese.
De'Aaron's great. He's had a fantastic season, but I think it's going to be very soon that Tyrese is going to be a clearly better player because the playmaking is at such a higher level.
I think that the ceiling listen, maybe this is, maybe it's not. It probably is the ceiling, though. The ceiling that De'Aaron Fox is reaching this year, that's just going to be a level for Tyrese Haliburton. Like, he still has ways to go. And so I'll take Tyrese.
I think it's a question now, and this is the best version we'll ever see of De'Aaron Fox. And Tyrese, like Donovan said, still has room to grow.
Wow, that's crazy. I think y'all are slightly disrespecting De'Aaron Fox. I think he possibly has another ceiling left to go up there. But
yeah, maybe I'm just slopping Tyrese too much, but I think he's him.
I agree with you. You're not wrong at all. How many names was that? Did I give 3 or was that?
You gave 3.
You gave 3.
You need a couple more?
No, you're fine.
All right, cool.
Listen, however many names you want to throw out there.
Yeah, you have any more questions? Any more people you want to put him against?
Nah, I think those are the toughest questions. I need just tough questions. I can't ask Jar or fucking Trey or anything like that. So I think
that's come on. Don't make me shit on Tyrese. Yeah, you say Trey. Trey's a question now.
Get the fuck out of here.
Tyrese.
Don't.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I think the last one. The last one would be: would you rather have Shea or Tyrese? I think that's like the last level.
That's hard. I don't even want to go there. That's hard.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Actually, hold on. Save that. Don't talk about that. I think we have that later.
Yes.
Save that. We have that in the TikTok segments later.
Okay.
I forgot. Okay, but going back to the Pacers real quick to wrap it up, we mentioned they also have a top defense. I think they're 13th, you said?
Yeah.
What's interesting is, let me pull this up. They have the number 1 rim defense in the league.
COVID.
Good? Yeah. They have the number 1 rim defense in the league in terms of percentage allowed. I mean, in terms of efficiency when teams get there. Mm-hmm. But they are 28th in frequency. So teams are getting there all the time, but they're shooting very poorly. And to me, that makes total sense when you think about the roster construction. Because like we said, they have all these guards who are shooters. Naturally, they're not the best defenders. But credit to Miles Turner, because Buddy Hield's getting blown by every play. Naismith's getting blown by every play. But Miles Turner is shutting that shit down every single time they get to the rim. Better than anybody. So props to him.
Pacers fans, this is the time of their life. I remember back in my prime YouTube days, I
was always bullied. They've made Eastern Conference Finals in like the last decade.
Bro.
In the last 10 years,
ever since after their Paul George days, okay, I'm talking about like, you know what I'm saying, recent history, okay? Most of our fans are none but 12, 13, 14 years old. So you gotta be
They've still made the playoffs. What do you mean? Like, they've never bottomed out as a franchise.
Okay, historian.
Fine, fine.
We don't care about that. We don't care about the Paul George age, even though it's near and dear to my heart. I got a PG-13 jersey right there. But this is the time of their life. I'm so happy that they're out of this mid-ass category. Now the only team left that I need to, you know what I'm saying? I need them to snap out of whatever fucking
they're literally
illness that
in
they
the
have.
East. Like they're the definition of mid right now.
Who?
I'm on your head. I'm
Who,
on
the
your
Wizards?
head.
Wait, no, you did not just.
No, the Pacers. They're fourth in the East. They're like 13th in defense, mid. Like
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not mid. They're not a mid team.
Okay, what are we talking about?
I'm just playing around.
I was gonna go there.
You're right though. It's a very good time. There's lots of hope for the Pacers. This is the most hope the Pacers have had in a long time because Tyrese gives them the ceiling to rebuild around. They haven't had that since Paul George.
Facts.
What a great bow to what a great way to tie that up. That's fantastic.
This is why we are the TD3.
Good for them. Okay. You know what we're gonna do now? We're gonna move on to the aforementioned TikTok segments.
Let's do it.
TikTok.
We got these hot
First
takes
thing
to
we're
get
gonna
to.
Oh yeah, let's do the hot takes first because I completely forgot about those. So I got some NBA hot takes for y'all, like always. Y'all let me know if these are W takes or L takes. First one, Devilish says that teams should can't talk. Devilish says that teams should stop drafting centers high if they want to win.
I'm going
That's
to
an
give
L
this
take?
an L take because there's certain centers
Big
out
L.
there.
What does that
like
mean?
if there was another Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid, you 100 times out of 100, depending
Easily.
on how the other draft prospects are, take them number one.
You could argue that 3 of the best 5 players in the world right now are all big men between Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid. Like the position is just as great as ever when you have these guys come in the league that are ultra skilled and playmakers from the position. We can't let people like James Wiseman and DeAndre Ayton as top picks make us think that they're just impossible to find good ones.
Also,
Facts.
basketball's not like that. It's not like football where you can be like, oh, we don't draft running backs in the first round. If you have a good player and good talent, you go and you take them as high as you think.
And Victors are coming right around the corners. Like obviously, big men are going to be highly
that's
drafted
an
for quite some time.
Dumbass.
Yeah, I'm not going to include that.
So mean.
Okay, next one. Fawn Ryder says that Allen Iverson is the best player to never win a championship.
That's false. James Harden.
Probably an L take.
James Harden is better. Charles Barkley is better.
People are going to hate that you said James Harden is better than
Yeah.
Allen Iverson, but it's absolutely correct.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
but like
it's tough.
Yeah, there's
We all like AI more, but come on.
facts.
Yeah, L
Yeah.
take.
But the answer is Charles Barkley, even outside of James Harden.
True. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. Listen,
That
simple
was
and
easy.
easy. L
Yeah,
take.
yeah.
Last
Not
one.
loud.
a weird
JC says that Andrew Wiggins is better than Brandon Ingram.
That's
L.
an L take.
L. I can
This is L's around the board today.
initially like try to see my way through it, but my boy, I can't see my way through it. That's an L. You can't do that.
Like, actually, Andrew Wiggins contributed to winning on a championship team. He can blah, blah, blah. No, it's not fucking true. Brandon Ingram is much better.
Yeah.
Maybe the gap isn't as big as it used to be now that we're seeing Wiggins find a role for himself, but Andrew Wiggins has a much higher... but Brandon Ingram has a much higher ceiling.
Yeah. No, he's out of his mind, bro.
Okay. Well, those are hot takes for the day. Sorry, they were bad, I guess. I didn't pick good ones that were debatable. Next thing we
all
got.
L's. What's next?
We're going to do a draft because we know how much you guys love them. So
Let's go.
I'm going to start trying to give us one to do every week. There are most viewed videos by far every single week, so let's give the people what they want. But today's one is going to be a little interesting. It's not going to be about the players playing on the court. It's going to be a little different.
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
Okay.
I've been waiting.
Let's draft NBA lineups based on how good of... Wait, how do I phrase this? Let's draft NBA lineups based on who has the best hands. Who do you want with you in a bar fight?
Okay. Listen, I like this. This is right up my alley. I have first
This is
pick,
gonna be
right?
great.
I have first
Yeah,
pick.
you got first pick. I got second pick. Mo has third pick. I can see Mo's camera's pause. He is currently Googling
Fuck
names.
you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yes, he's a cheater. I will go first. Undeniable. Give me Ron Artest. First pick.
Oh, I was hoping you didn't pick him.
Come on now. That's easy.
That's funny. Amazing pick.
Listen,
Damn, that's a great
it could
pick.
just be me and him. We're good. We're good.
That's right. Oh, I have second pick. I didn't even realize. I'm unprepared too. I'm just like you. Oh, number
Did my
2.
studying, bitch.
Give me the enforcer. Give me Bill Laimbeer.
Nice. Okay.
Listen,
that's cool.
He's not the most talented player, but he's gonna punch some motherfuckers.
Yeah, he also got punched a lot. He was getting beat up too. So like, okay, but I like that.
Actually, no, can I change my pick? I don't want Bill Laimbeer.
No, too bad. Too bad. No, you.
Yeah, you got to pick him. You got to keep him, bro. Who's your number one pick again, Donovan?
Ron Artest.
Okay, cool. You got Ron Artest. I'm gonna go ahead. Give me Ben Wallace.
Good pick.
And then give me James Jones. That's his name, right? No.
James Jones.
James Johnson. James Johnson.
Too bad. Major selection.
No. Hell,
James Jones.
You cannot do that. Y'all cannot do that.
You said
y'all
his name.
Cannot do that.
It's not my fault. You're not prepared for this draft.
Listen. Y'all cannot do that. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. One of the last best seasons he's had.
Okay. Just say it again. You can pick James. Just say it again.
James Johnson.
All right. Fine.
Okay.
He knows taekwondo, bro. He cut your head off.
He got that high eye in him.
Yeah.
Second pick. Give me Junkyard Dog. Give me Zach Randolph.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
The bully's bully.
I should have picked him in the
first
round, honestly.
That's so underrated.
Redeemed yourself. Okay.
Yeah, I should have picked him earlier.
Okay, so I have Ron Artest. with me. Give me Steven Jackson, Captain Jack.
Good pick.
I'm taking him. And then on top of that, I don't know if I should go scrappy, try to get a little like size, try to get some value there, or if I should go with a big man. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with another kind of mid-sized guy. Give me Matt Barnes. Give me Matt Barnes.
That's a solid pick.
Matt Barnes drove 30 hours. drove down the PCAs to go fight Derek Fisher. He's about it.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
Black Air Force energy right there.
You know who I'm picking? Fuck the hands. Give me Gilbert Arenas because I know in a bar fight he's packing me on every time. He's got my back.
Hey man, you read the title of this video. This is not what we talking about.
Oh my gosh.
He said, "Fuck the hands."
I'm gonna be protected. I'm good.
You know what?
Gosh.
I gotta go ahead and pick a big body. I don't even know if those little weak ass bullets can stop who I'm about to say. I gotta say Shaq. Give me Shaq on my team, and then along with
Shaq can't fight.
Along with Shaq, what? Are you kidding me? Along with Shaq, give me Draymond Green. We know. I don't have to say
you're getting pieced up.
You're picking Draymond Green, bro. Give me Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is beating the living shit out of Draymond Green.
Oh, I forgot Dennis was there. The recency bias kicking my ass.
All right. So I'm just gonna pick people from the 2004 Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
So please give me Jermaine O'Neal. On top of that, and then I will finish my roster with who am I gonna listen, low key underrated fighter could throw. Well, actually no. Okay, this is tough. I was not prepared for my fifth pick, so I will I completely forgot about this. You know what, give me Brandon Ingram.
I like that.
Brandon Ingram was swinging him. I feel you.
He's actually thrown a punch in an NBA fight. And there's not a lot of guys who can say that.
That's fine. I like that one. That's respectable.
You know what I'm gonna do? My last pick. I was gonna pick Jermaine O'Neal to go more hands. Give me DeMar DeRozan. You don't want to fuck with DeMar DeRozan. If you know, you know. But
you got DeMar? It's okay because I got John Wall. I got gang sign John Wall. It's gonna be a whole deuce shootout right here that we finna have, bro.
You got fake gang sign player. I got DeMar DeRozan. If you know what I mean.
Oh hell no, you crazy. Oh hell no.
Isaac got that.
Set up a time, place. Let's run it.
That's great.
Yeah, I got John Wall.
It's gonna be a hilarious video.
That we ended that perfectly. You gonna edit that one first? Okay. I know you are.
God, I can't wait to watch that TikTok.
Yeah,
this could be so good.
Okay, so next one's gonna be a little different. Going back to basketball, who are the most fun teams to watch in the NBA now?
Listen, I gotta give it up for the Sacramento Kings.
Wow,
they gotta be up there.
Listen, I'm on the League Pass
MVPs.
I'm on the Beam team. Light it up to everybody. The Kings are very fun to watch.
Wow, that boy finally got the hate out of his heart. Oh.
I did.
Yeah, that's a great pick. What about you, Mo?
All I've been watching is the Hawks, so I'm kind of depressed, bro. So I don't know if this is the right question for me. But when I need to change my mood around, I have to say The Phoenix Suns. Seeing Damian Lee,
You're
like how he is kind of different. No, I'm so serious. The Phoenix Suns, bro.
Capper. Terrible pick. They haven't been as great as usual this year, but for me, it's still the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
It's still the Warriors for me. Like, even though they've been struggling, Steph Curry is so electric. Like, you got to watch them night in, night out basis.
That's fair.
Cap aside, for me personally, you can say I was showing whatever. Cap aside, I really love watching Darius Garland and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, the Cavs are a great pick for sure.
Good.
Yeah, especially because Donovan Mitchell was randomly turned into fucking 96 Jordan this year. So like,
we can get you on the right path now. You're headed towards prosperity.
Yeah.
I see the way.
I believed you this time. I promise.
I see the way.
Obviously, the Grizzlies are in the conversation just because Ja Morant, night in, night out basis, is electric.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say the New Orleans Pelicans should be up there, but sadly they're not. I can count on my hands. I feel like how many dunks Zion has got off, bro. Not as many.
There's too many mid-range jumpers going on there. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Like they're a great team. They're good, but they're not that fun to watch.
Yeah, also, listen, when LaMelo is there, the Hornets are up there. A combination of LaMelo Ball and Eric Collins as the announcer, and that's a dynamic duo.
That is all the adrenaline I need, bro. That is all the adrenaline I need. Facts. Nice. Oh, another team that's a sleeper is the Orlando Magic. I fucking love watching Franz Bobo fucking hoop out of his ass, and also Paolo. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice.
Good pick.
Even though it's poverty basketball, it's hella fun.
So that's a little deep cut pick.
Yeah.
For me, the Raptors are also in there. Just seeing all these 6'9" guys do all these point guard things and spread the ball. I love the Raptors. I know you hate them for no reason, but I love the Raptors.
Hell no. Shout out to Pascal, but ugh.
You must not have been watching OG this year. OG is taking that lead.
OG is different. Oh, you're right about OG is different. He's different.
Nice. Okay, well, that's the end of that segment. Look out for that one to be sponsored. If you saw the first version here, you'll see a little surprise at the end.
Shout out to the real fans.
Next up, let's go the other way. Who are the least fun teams to watch in the NBA?
The Los
Hawks.
Angeles Lakers.
Gotta be. As a Lakers fan, I fucking hate it. It's the worst thing in the world to watch the Lakers.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. You got Russell Westbrook making stupid plays every 5 minutes. You got LeBron James, who doesn't even look like he cares about basketball anymore. You got Anthony Davis, who, listen, I'm not going to say anything about AD. He's done his job. He's stepped up. So to Anthony Davis, congratulations. But
every night, I turn on the TV, watching the Lakers, thinking I'm going to have fun. And every night, I have the worst time of my fucking life. I don't know why I do it. It's masochism.
You lie to yourself every night.
I feel the exact same way, except for the Atlanta Hawks. There's nothing worse than watching a team who's supposed to be good be incrementally worse.
Yeah.
Grinds my fucking gears.
Another team in a similar vein is the Timberwolves.
Oh, damn.
Individually,
terrible.
Anthony Edwards, fun to watch. Cat, kind of fun to watch. Gobert, not so fun. Put all of them together, it's fucking awful. The fit is horrible.
Yeah. Honorable mention should be the Miami Heat. I don't think they've been playing that bad of basketball.
I've never liked watching them.
Come in and out of the lineup every time. Swear to God, I seen someone who used to be my manager at Best Buy go in there and hoop, and he was playing super well against the fucking Atlanta Hawks. Who knows, bro? Yeah. Life is crazy.
A lot of people are going to say the Sixers, but I disagree because I'm a James Harden fan, and I think Joel Embiid is electric. So I like watching them, but I understand if you don't.
Oh, we forgot the Wizards. The Washington Wizards.
Bro, they have 3 20-point scorers. Relax. They're not that bad to watch.
I don't hate watching the Wizards. I don't hate watching the Wizards just because Kyle Kuzma is fun. If they didn't have Kyle Kuzma and I didn't have that Lakers connection to him, it'd probably be terrible.
They're the definition of mid. Like they're just a basketball team.
But they're good.
Like they have guys that fill out the stereotypical roles, but they don't do anything.
You got good mid and you got bad mid. They're good mid, so I wouldn't put them in that conversation.
Yeah, they're mid. Like I like watching them a little bit, but it's hard to be super fun when your top two players.
Like they're still mid.
Yeah, it's hard to be fun to watch when your top two players are Beal and Porzingis. Like nothing about that sounds exciting.
Yeah, y'all really need to fire up on the Charlotte Hornets. Who the hell wants to see?
Bro, you got it fucked up because I don't watch the Charlotte Hornets. I'm not an idiot.
God. Good.
Y'all don't watch them?
No, I watch them a little bit. I don't watch every team, but like. Listen, we gotta watch every team to do our jobs well, but they're probably the team I watch the least, along with like the Spurs.
Yeah.
So, haven't caught too many games this year. I'll tell you that. Not with LaMelo going. But okay, that wraps up that segment. We got our hate off. That was pretty funny. Next one, Donovan, I think you have a question for us regarding some points per game lines.
Yeah. All right. Let me pull up my notes and get these matchups ready.
Host D.
Yep. All right. I'm. Let's see. How are we gonna frame this? All right.
So y'all let me know which player is averaging more points per game this year, or which player do y'all think is averaging more points per game this year?
Yeah. All right. I'm okay.
Which player?
Okay. Which player? Dang it.
Yeah, he doesn't do this usually.
I know. I'm rusty. I haven't done this in like 6 pods. I'm so rusty right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Which player do you guys think is averaging more points this year? All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably work on that. All right. Jason Tatum or Kevin Durant?
Ooh, this is tough.
I know they're both averaging over 30. Did one of them fall out of that?
I think Durant is.
Did they?
I think Durant is, bro. Just the other night, he dropped 44 or something like that. Or
he went crazy against the
he dropped like
the Magic.
45 or 46, something like that. So
Yeah, maybe Tatum dropped like 29.4. I'll go Durant.
You're both wrong.
Oh, should have known.
Jason Tatum is averaging 30.8 points per game. Kevin Durant is averaging 30 flat.
You bitch. This is so close.
Yeah, you're an ass.
I had to do it. All right, next one. Anthony Simons or Zion Williamson?
Ooh.
Oh, now, dude, this is by a point and a half. They're both averaging 22 points.
I think Anthony Simons is averaging like 23. I think it might be Anthony by a little bit.
Oh, I thought he said Anthony Edwards. My bad. So I'm going to say Anthony.
All right. Well, you guys are both right on this one. Simons is averaging 23.5. Zion's averaging 22.5.
Yeah. Shocking.
I think I just heard that in a pod lately that Anthony was at 23. So do your research, kids.
All right. Jaylen Brown or De'Aaron Fox?
Oh, that's a hard one. De'Aaron Fox. I think he's like 26, close to 27, isn't he? So I got to go him.
I got to go Jaylen Brown. He's been hooping. He's averaging like 25, 26.
De'Aaron Fox is having
a career year, been on a slump recently, too.
All right. Well, Mo, you are correct.
Yeah! You can't hold me. You can't hold me.
De'Aaron Fox is averaging 24.8 points per game. Jaylen Brown is averaging 26.1.
I'm in my bag.
Very good season for Jaylen.
I do my research.
And lastly, Paul George or Nikola Jokic?
Oh, this is
so we know
tough.
Jokic is at 23. Is Paul George above 23? He's been missing a lot of games.
He's missed a lot of games. This is tough because you were talking about how passive fucking Jokic was. I'm going to say Paul George has been averaging more, though.
I'm going to say Paul George is averaging 21. I think he's having a slow year.
Nikola Jokic is averaging more points. Actually, no, my bad. Paul George is averaging more points than Nikola.
I'm in my bag.
My bad. Paul George is averaging 23.6. Nikola Jokic is averaging 23.
Damn.
Yep, I know ball and you don't.
All right, those are the 4 matchups I got for y'all.
Cool, that was good. You fucked me up at the end. I got you.
Yeah, it's on me.
Okay. Next one, Mo. I think you have something for us now regarding some 2K lineups.
Yep, let's go ahead and run it back.
Here we go. I'm glad I don't have to play Mo in these 2K ratings.
Because I actually play 2K. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're fucked.
Dang. Nah, Isaac really do be on the game. That sucks. I'm cooked.
Nah, I don't play that much anymore. 2K's dead. Whole community's gone.
We got to get on FIFA.
We're doing the lineups, right? Fuck, I forgot about that.
We have to get on FIFA as a
Oh yeah, send us the first one by one.
Can y'all guess these NBA teams by their 2K ratings?
Okay, right. First one. The point guard is okay. The shooting guard's the weakest point of the team. Center, is this the 76ers?
No, there's no way. It has to be the
Good guess though.
Yeah, it's the Denver Nuggets.
It has to be the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, it's obviously Nuggets.
That was great. Okay.
Moby
that was an easy one if you ask me. All right.
Yeah, Jokic at 96 is a dead giveaway. It's either him or Joel Embiid.
Yeah, absolutely. That's there's no going over that one at all. All right, what about this team?
Okay, so we got an elite point guard clearly, and a pretty good shooting guard. So my first thought is it's either the Hawks or the Blazers. Do I think Anthony's not at 86? Is he?
I don't think so. I don't think not yet. Here's the thing.
It's got to be the Hawks.
Is okay.
That's
so
your final guess?
The center is an 80. The center is an 80.
Clint Capella, 80.
I'll go with
83 John Collins at power forward. This is the Hawks.
But Jeremy Grant's also nice. But there's no way Anthony Simons
is that your final guess, Isaac?
This is the Hawks.
We're going with the Hawks. Oh,
so
it's
the Blazers?
No.
What? 86. Oh wait, is this the Grizzlies?
Donovan, what's your guess?
Wait, let Isaac go.
Yeah, it's the Grizzlies. Yeah, you're cooked.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of those young point guards. It makes sense.
Yeah. I figured that the Hawks would definitely be in that mix just because I feel like John Collins and Clint Capella kind of get
Desmond
that
Bane
away.
86. I love to see it. Give him his respect.
Wow.
Yeah, he needs to be a little bit higher.
Nice.
All right.
So
what about this one?
Let's see.
All right, so you got it.
Best players at power forward. Oh wait, this is the Pelicans.
No, wait.
This man is on the money.
Pelicans.
Yeah, Donovan, you didn't stand a chance from the get go. You talking about me playing 2K? He for real play 2K. He represent 2K.
I take too long to process information. Isaac got it.
Yeah, bro.
Say the team.
He has all the ratings
that forward
processed
combination
in
of
his
Ingram and
fucking
Zion
membrane,
giveaway.
bro. It's raps. You had no chance.
Say the combination. I lost.
Same thing, bro. You just bad at this.
I'm hosting the next one. I'm opting out of these. I don't want to play. I don't want to play.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. We got one more segment before we get out of here. That's going to be, which player would you rather build around? First up, Tyrese Haliburton or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
This is tough.
The two golden boys of the season. Now this is hard.
This is tough. But with my philosophy and how much I believe in Tyrese Haliburton, bro, I like playmaking. I like players who can do both. I like players who have layers onto their game, bro. And Tyrese Haliburton has that, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Although he's not a bad passer, but that's not his go-to thing. He's not a passing threat.
Yeah.
You never mention him as one of the best passers in the NBA ever. And for Tyrese, you do that, especially this season.
Fair enough.
I got Tyrese.
Okay, that's fair. I think. Listen, I still might take Shai. If we're talking about philosophies and just bias, I'm very biased to guys who can just go and get a bucket. And Shai's that guy.
A lot of people are.
Shai's that guy.
The thing is, Haliburton's already an elite passer. Shai's already an elite scorer. Do you think it's more likely that Shai becomes a really good passer or that Haliburton becomes a really good scorer?
I'd like to place my money on Tyrese being an elite scorer, even though I still feel like at times that shot can be limited.
I think both are really likely.
Huh?
I think both are likely. Like they might both be really good at both eventually.
Listen, I want to see what Shai's assist numbers look like when he doesn't have the Oklahoma City Thunder around him, and like once they actually start getting better. That's what I want to see. But for a guy who already this season has taken that jump, and it's very, very clear, he has that gene. He has that clutch gene in him, and he could score at a very high level in volumes. Like I like that to be kind of the center point of my team.
That's not a bad take at all. I don't blame you.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's just how I prefer. You have a different preference. I have a different preference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you going?
LaMelo Ball. I'm not mad at the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander pick. I don't know.
Okay.
LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards?
Give me Anthony Edwards simply because I feel like he has another level of star power to him, but it's so nasty because what does that mean? I think you beat that dude at the end of the day. Over LaMelo, yeah. Anthony Edwards, yeah.
I think I'm going to go with LaMelo. I understand everybody's infatuation with Edwards because he can be this prototypical scoring guard, but I think when they both hit their peaks, LaMelo is going to be an elite passer and a damn good scorer.
Yeah.
I'm taking LaMelo on this one. I think Anthony Edwards still has a leap to go to become like a great volume scorer, and he still has ways to go in playmaking, and he still has ways to go in defense. LaMelo can already be a really good scorer, and he's already a really, really good playmaker. So I'll go there.
See, LaMelo's also a fucking terrible defender, and also he has more holes in his offensive game than someone like Anthony Edwards has issues getting to the line, finishing at the rim, things like that. So I can't. Okay. My heart's torn. I can't really hate y'all for that either. So WTN.
Okay, last one's really hard. Joel Embiid or Jason Tatum?
Tatum.
That easy?
Tatum.
Easy.
It's not tough. It's easy. Tatum.
I think Joel might be like the third best player alive. Like maybe probably not, but like he's top 5. Like the two-way impact now that Joel is a skill. Now that Joel has his ball handling ability and go-to scoring from the mid-range, like, what can't he do?
Stay healthy. That's what he can do on a consistent basis.
Joel hasn't had that bad of injury concerns in like 2 years.
Bro. And when I'm talking about building my team around, those injury concerns are like the second. They're if not the first or the second biggest thing off my checklist. Can you stay healthy? Can you be on the court at least? That's why I have Tatum.
All right. Well, I mean, if that's your reason, I get it. But like in terms of how good they are, it's really close.
It's not about how good they are, Isaac. It's about who would you rather build your team around.
Yeah, and I'm going off of how good the players are. What do you mean?
Yeah, you take them at their peak. I think that I would take. Oh, this is tough. I think that I would take Embiid, just because, like Isaac said, he can, like, the ball handling is down, and he can do kind of a lot of things in terms of like shooting wise that like some guards can do. He can take pull up threes. He can extend his range, and he could be the anchor to my defense. And if you can get both of those things in one, that's a super steal. So I think I would take.
I'd rather build my offense around Joel Embiid, and I think he's more defensively impactful because he defends the rim. Like, I don't know why I'd pick Tatum outside of just liking that style of play. You know what I mean?
Yep. Embiid's gonna lead y'all to the second round. Meanwhile, Tatum's gonna lead me to the finals. Let's get it.
Cool. Give Joel Embiid, Jason
I'm on
Tatum.
ass right now.
Give Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I know.
He's going pretty far.
I'm being an asshole.
All right. Well, that's the end of the segments we got. It was a long show, lots of TikToks. Damn. I think we're done here.
That was a lot of TikToks. Y'all
better
a whole
lot. Y'all are gonna eat.
Yeah.
See you next time.